Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Commons. I'm LD Demola, and to my left,
Emma LaRouge,
Maya Siobhan,
and Yo Suji. House of Commons.
House of Commons. Alright, no spilling.
Today's episode,
yes,
it's not even backed by popular demand because we haven't talked about it yet, but it's definitely popular demand. Natural hair versus weaves. Natural hair versus weaves.
Oh, we laugh.
male and female.
We're in Los Angeles, not Atlanta. Shots fired. No,
Hey,
but
I
I mean, we are gonna take it different directions. Obviously, there are so many different ways to take this, but let's begin by, I guess, I don't know, you guys start it off.
We get started off. You want to start?
Okay, so my perspective about the whole natural versus weaves is, of course, I am natural, proud natural, love my natural hair. And that's not to say I never wore weaves, but of course it was never something that I really liked because one, I really didn't like the fact that it was shed, and I did buy human. For some of you guys listen, that's because you didn't buy quality hair. But to me, it's not something that I like because one, I just feel like how do I put it? Now it's to a point whereby women can just take a cap. What is it? The wig? Because you have weaves and then you have wig. Right. I don't even know the difference, and you can laugh all you want. So, so now my problem is you wear this wig, and it just doesn't sit well with me. It's like you have a cap on. And you could be out, yeah, you can clip it in and all that, and it can stay, but it's like, okay, what happens when you get home? And in terms of your intimacy, like you take that thing, or how is your hair underneath? How does it, I mean, I'm not for it, I'm not against it, but my thing is, I just don't want it all over my environment, and I don't want a bunch of different display of wig caps in my surrounding. I mean, I don't know.
Weave is stitched on, right? And the wig is just like placed on?
Yeah, so you have the one that
extensions and...
Yeah, so you have the ones that now you can actually make your own cap, and then you put those on, and then you have the ones they can still sew in. And my problem with the sewing is I like to feel the breeze blowing my scalp. You know, so I love the fact that I can run my hand through my hair, you know, and it's no problem. Like, I feel like when it's so hot and you have that thing on, it just feels so sticky. And, and I don't even want to get into the smell of it.
Oh my God.
Shots fired?
Big ones.
Yeah, because there are some women, I mean, if we were to keep, and I keep things...
Some like granola bars?
I keep it 100% real. There are some women that don't maintain theirs too well, and unfortunately, they have funk around them when you're around them. It stinks. I'm sorry, if you're gonna wear that thing, there is a time cutoff on it, and please, like, do take care of it, because especially when it's summertime and it holds all that heat and sweat. You go out to a party and you're dancing and all that sweat is in it. You can only keep that for so long, and some women don't realize that. So,
well, I don't feel that strongly about it. I've been both. I've been natural, and I wore weaves, wigs, whatever you call it. And I think it's a misconception as far as because you're natural, you're this way, and because you have weave, you're that way. I think that as a black woman, hair is everything. You know, hair is everything because that's where our strength is. And men are attracted to us because of the way that our hair looks. I think that's probably the only, like, ethnicity that looks at hair that much, which is why we put billions of dollars into our hair. Now, when I was natural, I was approached differently. People spoke to me differently because of the way that my hair looked. Didn't mean I was any smarter than when I had weave in my hair. Didn't mean, you know, that I had some higher intellect because I decided to wear my afro, and then my afro turned into twists, and my twist turned into locks, and my locks were like longer than Emma's was, very Maine looking. You know, people thought I was from Jamaica and different countries. So, and then I kind of played to it. I played to it to a fact of one day I said, okay, I'm going to change my hair just to see if the same persons would approach me the same way. And it was different. Instead of saying, hey, sis, it was, hey, girl. I said, wow, that does change, you know? So for me in my life, like, you know, I'm a lot of different people in a lot of different rooms. So I want to look a different way. Does that mean that my intellect is different? No. Does that mean that I'm dumb or that I'm not connected to myself or I'm not conscious? No. I think consciousness comes from wisdom and age and learning and failing and winning. So I think when people say things like, you know, I don't know what you're saying because of what your hair looks like. Okay, well, you're a little ignorant because it's not about my hair. It's about my brain. So I think that hair gets too much attention, you know, for black women. I feel like, you know, as Emma and I had a conversation the other day, here in LA, women get these like, you know, 95 inches and you're 5 feet tall. So you're walking around looking like a horse. And
95 is long hair?
Well, I'm being ridiculous. So like let's say 28. 18, you know what I mean? Like it's, but you wear it like it's your own, you know, and it's like everything around you, your hair is probably like $1,000 and you're on the bus.
That's a problem.
Well, you're talking about the financial aspect.
I'm just saying because it is, you know, it's like, you know, a lot of people we see on TV, they pay a lot for their hair because of the way it looks and blah, blah, blah. But if you're, you know, climbing your way up the ladder and your hair is worth $1,500, like, where's your priorities? You know, so that part of it. But I think the natural part of it, too, is just as much more expensive because you have to get natural products. And to piggyback off of what Emma said, you know, and your hair smells. Now with locks, they actually smell worse because it's in its natural state.
You take care of it.
Yeah, but in its natural state, like I said, I was both. So being both. No, really. You can ask people.
It's good looks. It's good looks.
The people that you ask that if you don't wash your hair, like a lot of guys who wear locks, smell their hair, have them walk past you.
Of course. I mean, hygiene.
Yeah, it actually smells worse. Hygiene. Is my point.
The poets.
Yeah, so that's my take. I've been both. I am both. You never know what you're gonna see with me.
I'll wait.
I guess I bought into the first question. I've actually wanted to ask this question since the beginning of time. The first person who wore weave, right? The first, we're gonna talk about black women who wore weave. I'm pretty sure when she walked to the neighborhood, people were like, "Oh my God, girl, your hair, like this is fat." And she got away with it for a long time until the next person figured out the code. Like, okay, this is fake. My question is, now that we all know it is not your hair, does it still have the same strength, or is it just is it a beauty thing now? Is it all accepted?
I think it's more of a beauty thing. I personally, this is my take. You know, you can disagree, which is absolutely fine. I don't find any strength in, as a black woman, I wouldn't find strength in weave. How I don't know. I mean, how to put it, but I would find more strength in your natural hair versus what.
So as far as your hair or yourself.
You know,
because you could be just as weak with locks.
Yes, you can. And that's not to say that your hair is your strength.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not to say that your hair is your strength, but sometimes, as a black woman, with our natural hair, it creates this, you know, to other cultures, they look at us very intimidating. It has this strength power to it. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain for people to.
Because of them. It has nothing to do with you and what you wear. It's how people look at it. Perception is reality. I mean, if you perceive I'm any smarter, when I had locks, my aunt said something to me. It was so funny. She said, "Maya, I bet when you walk in a room, people ask you, say something deep because of the way I looked." And then my name is Maya after the poet Maya Angelou. So it was like, I bet you they say, "Ooh, say something deep." Right. It was a joke, and it's true, and it's how people perceive you.
And that's not to say that, okay, people that have natural hair are more powerful in strength or anything. That's not my point. But my point is, I think there is more respect to natural hair versus weave at the end of the day. In other cultures and in our community, I mean, me personally, and black women are the #1 consumers when it comes to weave. It's a great
hair, period.
Well, weaves, hair, whatever chemicals is being used to transform the texture of your hair. We are the #1 consumers. But the problem that I have is, yes, we have black products out there. We have a few great ones out there. But a lot of us that are using this product are not even using our senses to be able to create more of this, whereby we're not consuming other people's products. then that becomes a problem to me. If you're gonna give the money to someone, give it to someone else within your culture or your community. That's a whole different conversation for another day. But then, and what do you
say?
I don't really have an issue with weaves, or I don't really care. My only issue is, does it match you and is it clean?
That's a good point.
Cleanliness, because you go to the club and you see these women and they're cute, but they don't let it dry before they get to the club. And then they get to the club and they sweat and the mold, and it's just it smells like mildew mixed in with fresh ass, like new ass and fresh ass, and just funk. And I can't do that. So I don't mind what you look, as long as you look good and whatever you're doing is beautiful, it's great. I don't care if you have natural. I'm not biased to either one. I do like natural because it's something I'm seeing more often now, and I appreciate it when I do see it. If I see it, it's nice, but I don't have a preference because I do think people do look better with certain things. I think that certain women, if weave works for you, you definitely should be doing that. If a wig works for you, my sister, do whatever you need to do to make yourself look however you want. I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy with who you are, but I do believe whatever you need to do to make yourself look good, do that. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not like, oh, you must be natural, or But the only time I'm like against that is when it's done in spite of or because of. I don't want to, I don't want to be man. Yeah, like, or I don't love myself. So I'm trying to do So I want to do wig because I don't like my natural whatever, but that's on you. I can't control that decision, but as far as a man looking at you visually, I don't care.
I wanted to break down a little history to kind of piggyback off of what you said, LD. So the first black woman who, let's go back to when we were natural with afros and such. I remember talking to my cousins because their afro was amazing. In like the 60s, 70s. And they talked about how every night they would braid their hair down and it was like a thing. And then when the perm came out, it was out, but it wasn't on every shelf. It was about having options. And back in the day, makeup was hot pink, foundation. We had to create our own options. So when Madam C.J. Walker came out with the perm, it gave us options. Now, the difference between other cultures and us is options. We're able to straighten, we can curl it, we can cut it off, we can pick it out, and it can become something different. That's something that other cultures are striving to do, which is why you see Bo Dereks and different women, Kim Kardashian, I dare say her name, but I'm saying cornrows and things, those are options that they're now, oh, we can do this, and we've been doing that for years. Actually, that was what we did at night. We cornrowed our hair because when you woke up in the morning, your fro was a perfect, circular thing. So when Madam C.J. Walker decided to do the perm, that gave us what options? Not just for women, but for men as well. So they were able to separate themselves from other people and look white and acceptable to get a job. So hair is what everything, because I'm really about to go back in history with the I cannot remember the Tap Dance Brothers, but they were black, but because their hair was straight and they were lighter skinned, they were able to dance in different clubs because of their hair. So that's an option. We use all kinds of things so that we can overcome. So now it's morphed into, like you said, people not knowing where you are from inside. At the same time, we have options. And I think for me, being a black woman in this America, I love the fact that if I wanted to wear braids, I can wear them. If I wanted to lock my hair, I can lock my hair. If I wanted to cut my hair off, I can cut it off really short and embrace it. If I wanted to wear it curly and out loud, I can. So that's where all of that came from. So it's not about, she's less than a woman because her hair is a certain way. I've actually dated, guys that say, oh, wow, I'm so glad you're natural. And back then I was not so intelligent as I am now, but because you know.
Well, not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead now.
Because this is a shout out to the poets out there. Y'all some corny. Sometimes like the one thing I want to push to like the supreme side is the Afrocentricity of exaggerated Afrocentricity of like I get it right, but if anybody listens to music, there's a rap group Little Brother. To me, one of the greatest lyricists of all time, Fonte Coleman. Google, I think the song is Yo Yo, and he has a verse. The last verse that he spits, basically talking about, and I've seen this broad daylight, where you go to a poetry lounge and the dude with the dreads is like all this Afrocentric, but then you know Becky is like. Right, like don't hit me with that hair shit. Like, you stop it, bro.
Talk to
no,
me.
for real. Like, so as far as the Afrocentricity, I understand the Afrocentricity when it's real, but
when it's a put on.
Come on, son, get out of here with that corny stuff. So I just have to put that out.
This is what I would. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I know that one of my friends, she complained about it, and it wasn't up until a couple of years ago. I think we talked about it before how black women have the issue that they have when they're going for job interviews is they have to have a certain type of look when they're applying for jobs. So that's the only. I mean, that's maybe another thing too that's not really spoken.
I was going to ask.
That's a silent killer right there.
I was going to ask it this way. I was actually going to ask it. How many doors does natural hair close?
I mean,
I'm just gonna be real.
I defer to this. I would disagree with that. It is difficult for you to break those barriers that are gonna be put in front of you because you have natural hair. But I mean, I had a guy ask me one time, he's like, "You work in corporate America with your locks?" I'm like, "Yeah, I maintain them very decently. Who are you to tell me that I have to wear this fake hair for you to hire me?" I mean,
that's in this time though now. I mean, before it wasn't like that.
Things have changed, so now people can use that as an excuse, and some women do use that as an excuse. That's no excuse. But even your own hair is fine. I mean, you don't have to be. I'm not saying that you have to be natural Afro, all of that, but if you feel like you have to put in extensions for you to get a job, to me, that's not a valid enough reason. I mean, obstacles are gonna be there regardless. You're black, period. Now, you can say that the obstacles are added on because you have a natural hair, maybe, but I always say my obstacles are paper thin and I can run through them, so you can put them there, but who are you to tell me that I have to wear extension or I have to perm my hair or I have to have my hair a certain way for you to hire me? It shouldn't be about that. It should be about my intelligence and what I know and whether I can do the job or not. And if you don't want me in your company, well, bad.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But unfortunately, it is. Now, to just put you on display, the length of your hair is non-threatening because it looks, it's long.
But it's going to get longer.
Follow me. Walk with me real quick. When you start natural, it's an afro. It's less appealing. It shows a lot of strength. Wait a minute.
Let me finish. Natural is not always Afro.
As I said, walk with me, right? Okay. So I've been every level that you're talking about. So I've walked into the corporate office because I like to see stuff, just so that I don't just say it out, thin air. And I had my hair twisted, like the little pickaninnies, whatever you want to call them, right? And the first thing you see is like, okay, wow, right?
She's black.
And she's black.
And so pickaninnies or little like twisties, your little two straight, right? So now this is
Kodak Black, huh?
Yeah, and it depends on what office you walk in. Now, give me a couple years, a year or two, your hair starts to grow and it starts to become long and it's less threatening. Actually, even in the military, as long as your collar, because they approve locks, but it has to be a certain length. It can't be at a certain stage, the baby stage, adult stage, adolescent. There's stages to your life journey, So your hair being longer is less threatening than it is when it's in the adolescent stage. Because in the adolescent stage, it's creating itself. I'm really going there. So like when you walk into an office and you're suited up, see a woman, we can decorate ourselves with makeup and earrings. But when our brothers walk in with locks, the first thing they see is, oh man. What is this brother gonna do?
I'm real with you.
But wait a minute. A brother, if we had a split screen right now, you had a guy with this length and a guy with the longer length, I bet you the longer length they take less threatening because maintenance in a different way.
I
Follow
think
what
it's
I'm saying?
also the maintenance. Some people don't make.
But when your hair's in the adolescent stage, there's nothing.
Let me say this. I've actually walked into a company, right? I was actually working at the company, and a black dude was getting ready to interview, right? And he had locks. He had the, kind of fade on the side and the locks, and I knew he was not getting the job. No matter how qualified you are, in this corporate job, I know you're not getting it. Now, here's the thing. It is important, though. This is where the
was shaved.
It was well cut, well groomed, but it was dreads.
But it was shaved.
Have you seen Do the Right Thing? The dude who got his J stepped on. Those kind of dreads. He had like what the young kids are doing right now, right? He had those locks. Now this is where the Afrocentricity comes in. This is where it's important to use that as a statement. That is when your hair. That's when you should be bold about your hair.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I asked how many doors does it close is because is it about time that more people use their natural hair as a statement?
I agree.
You see
But
what
I
I'm
don't know
saying?
how much you're gonna eat.
I don't know how much you're gonna eat. I understand that.
How? Yeah, the level.
There was something about 2 years ago or 3 years ago called the Big Chop, where a lot of like black ladies just said, screw all this relaxer. I don't know what motivated it. I think it was because it was like, I'm tired of all this.
And I think it was. I think when a Chris Rock movie came out, Good Hair. And then how much money is being invested. It took a wrong turn. This whole hair weave natural thing. It took like this weird kind of turn because us as African Americans, we were losing in a lot of different rooms and a lot of different conversations. So hair is like a big one because the money is that's actually where a lot of our revenue is going. Like in just everywhere throughout the whole entire world, not even just our country, but the whole world. Like that's our business.
And then the brothers is J's.
Right. God, that's a whole nother story.
Right? No, for real.
But what I was gonna say
No, I'm serious, right? Isn't it? It's like
true. I think we're waking up a little bit more though.
But it's true though.
I really think we are. I was gonna say something about when you come into corporate America with your hair a certain way and how the difference. When you just said the shave on the side and thing, I thought about, and I hate to be black or white, but I have to be real. When a white boy walks in with his hair shaved and it's spiked up, it's no different. But why is it different? You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a statement, it's a style. Because what corporate America wants is they want robots. They want us all to look this same clean cut way for clients and blah blah blah. So too many statements, too many colors. Women can't wear too much in the interview during a meeting. No red, no short things like. So they want you to be cut a certain way. Guys, stay away from bow ties. Wear, blacks, don't wear all black suits because you look black. It's too much cookie cutting out, right? But when Brad walks in, no disrespect to Brad, Peter, or any other, I'm just saying, like, he walks in with his spikes, and he has a tattoo. He kind of covered it up because he has that tattoo kind of like feeling. Why is
gotta go this long, brother? You're not Mike.
But so what's that's the problem to me. So because when Tyrone walks in or Raheem,
Mama,
I understand.
But look at the application.
They look at him and
Tyrone and they're like,
why is the problem for him to wear
Jamal?
Like that's.
This is what I would say. The problem is not just the hair. The problem goes back to racism. The fact that when you're black, two, now you're expressing yourself through your hair.
Oh God! So you got a mouth.
Right. So now it's like they feel like it creates that. How do I put it? It becomes very intimidating, even though they don't see it that way. But they feel like you are not presentable enough, quote unquote.
Cookie cutout.
Right.
Do you think that's changing?
I know. I'm gonna tell you why. Because of Microsoft. Because Microsoft, Google, all these companies, they're understanding that a happy employee is a better employee. And if you come to work with the T-shirt that you fell asleep in last night, and you create that program, it doesn't matter. I think Zappos too. All these online companies that's created.
That's cute, but that's probably like 5%.
But they're actually driving our economy.
They're driving our economy
like in a huge way.
This is the thing. Here's one thing I want to do.
But that's why I think it's
Here's one thing I want to do.
They don't agree.
Let's go back into the one thing that I want to do right now is put all responsibility blame success on black people.
Okay, let's do
right?
it.
Because I know corporate America is corporate America,
Right.
but
It's never gonna change.
it's not even just that.
Yeah.
Because I can sit down here and say, why are you interviewing with Brad? Why can't Tyrone interview with Tyrone? That's a question I can ask.
That's
But
why
Okay.
that's a whole other question.
True.
My thing is, here's a question. How detached or attached does a weave or a wig make a woman feel? Is there anything connected to your psyche with a wig or a weave and natural? Your personal psyche, not what people think you are. So not if I see you with an afro, I think you're smart. No. Yourself, when you wear a wig or a weave, does it do anything to your, to your confidence, to
I'll
your...
let you answer that because I don't
Please,
know
I
how
love
it
this.
feels.
The Maya Shalom show.
No, for real.
No, I think for me, I cannot say that it doesn't like play on it in a way. I don't spend much time in it because, like I said, I've been both, and I think it's just my choice. Like if today I want to wear a blonde wig, not that I would, then I'll do it. But see, I play with life sometimes because of forums like this. I'll do things just so that I can have the conversation, and I kind of want to mess with people's heads just to see how the world approaches me, that day. And then it's more self-expression for me. So I don't think it doesn't connect or disconnect me. I think what happens is when a man walks up to me and says, "Is that your hair?" I think that's when it becomes, it's something about my hair.
Do more men approach you just thinking about it, when you are natural and when you're wearing a wig or a weave, do you get approached more with either one? Or?
It depends on the city, and it depends on like how I'm wearing it. Like the East Coast men are more conscious, so they gravitate more to a natural woman. Not just hair, the whole thing, makeup. They don't like fake anything, like nails, all that, But on this West Coast,
those are cornballs.
yeah, but it's but they don't necessarily, because I've done that too. I said, let me just see what happens. Went to a Jamaican club just to see, amongst my friends, and the approach is different, if not at all. I think more. It's funny because I always hear men say, I want my woman natural, no this, no that. But the very women that they say they don't want is the very women that they gravitate to almost 100% of the time.
I just talked about the poets like 30 minutes ago.
But it's funny how that happens. And then when I walk in the club with my fro or my twist or my bush out, no one says anything, right? But the next week I go to the same club, the same people are there because no one,
You want me to tell you why?
Please,
let me tell you.
but that guy approaches and says, "Hey, mama, what's up with you?"
Let me tell you something. And I'll speak for Los Angeles,
Please.
right? And I'll speak for it just in general. I'll look at the camera when I say this, and this goes back to that poet guy. A lot of people don't practice what they preach. A lot of it is just straight bullshit. I'm just gonna be real with you. Because the fact is, I understand the Afrocentricity tied to your hair. It is important to understand you're the only one with actual nappy hair. You're the only one. There's no other continent you can find. There's no other species or race of people that have nappy hair like you do, right? Nappy hair even sounds like an insult in this modern day and age.
Doesn't it?
It sounds like an insult, which is crazy, but if nappy is what they consider your hair, right? That is what your hair is. And these days, I've seen it where a lot of girls who have natural hair talk more about black things, right? So it's blackness is directly connected to I'm not going to do anything that is white, which I can understand. But the dudes who say all this stuff, papi, again,
this is what they look at. What they want to
stop, because I really want to know, black dudes, when you see a girl with a weave and you see a girl with natural hair. I want statistics. No, I do. I want statistics.
Let's get
This is
them.
what I was
Let's
gonna
get
say.
them for
At
part
the end of
two.
the day, when a man approaches a woman, sometimes, majority of the time, it's not just about the hair. Are there guys that prefer natural hair? Absolutely. There are guys that don't like natural hair. There are guys out there that don't care for natural hair.
What comes with natural hair? So if I'm a guy in the club,
Consciousness to them.
there you go. How many guys can handle?
A conscious.
I'm just being factual.
That's real. That's a real deal.
Because we can sit down here in front of what we want, but I know if I'm standing at a club, right, when I'm thinking about my future and where I want to plant my seed, which most of us should be thinking, right, if the hair was the description, chances are that the lady who's natural looks like what I should be learning. Like, for real. She looks like who I should be, she looks like who I should be talking to about the future of us, of blackness. She looks like that. Based on the hair. But, Papi, come on. That's not what's going on.
Ever. No, I've seen it.
At least in LA.
Okay, so let me say this. It's not just every woman that's natural that has common sense. I'll keep it real. And it's not every woman that wears weaves is dumb. At the end of the day, it's about the individual. People are going to do what they want to do. I'm not against weave, but to me, I'm not all about the thickness of it. It just it had got to a point where it's just extreme.
Yeah.
I can't deal with the extreme length. Like, it's too much. I mean, the power that we have is that we can change our hair.
I love it.
We have that power, and that is great. And us as black women can do whatever we want to do. But my issue becomes when we are taking this money, because we are the #1 consumers when it comes to any hair products.
Let me just say one thing, though.
Yeah.
Just to add to you.
Okay.
My girlfriend is a cosmetologist.
Okay.
As far as weave is concerned and extensions, don't get it twisted.
Don't get me wrong. Other women
Black
wear
women,
it.
as far as percentage of, they're a little percentage when it comes to the big.
But if you look at the,
As far as ratio, they spend more in their community. Yes.
and
But as far as
I am not
who's wearing
worried.
weaves,
I'm not worried about.
Becky got weaves on.
I'm not
Crazy.
worried about what Becky is doing, because what Becky does doesn't affect me. I am more concerned about what whoever else this color is doing, because that affects me. So at the end of the day, we can look at the percentage of other women or other cultures that are wearing this weave. Whatever they're doing doesn't affect me. You know? So my thing is, if we have all these black women that are investing into this hair product and all, and there are black women who have created hair products, we should continue supporting each other, putting money into each other's pocket instead of taking this money and giving it to someone else. That's my problem. You're spending all this money on hair product, and at the end of the day, you're looking at that hair product that you're using. It's not even made by any black person. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
the whole
that
franchise.
should also be a concern. Like, I'm not mad at you doing whatever you're doing with your hair, but let that money go into someone's pocket, into your community. Let the growth be within your community. My thing is, if we don't start doing things that are, you know, creating growth for ourselves, no one else is going to do it. So as much as you're creating change for your hair, as much as you're changing up your hair, spending $300 up to $500, let that $500 go towards someone that's your color, not someone else that is not of your color. You're supporting someone else's business. That's just my issue with it. I have no problem if you want to wear hair that's as long to your butt. That's your business. You're the one carrying the weight. That's your money. But also, as you're spending that money, I hope you're taking care of your kids and you're taking care of what the priorities are. Because you have some women out here that will not pay their necessary bills. Their kids will be walking around looking like they've just been dragged through a mud, and they have all this hair on their head, bragging to their girlfriends, "Yeah, girl, I got this Brazilian
Is it really that
hair."
popular amongst?
Yes.
I just want to say.
Yeah, it's very.
I think when I think about, because you know, especially like living in the Bay Area, you see a lot of different types of Afrocentric. You know, some of them are actually real about it. Matter of fact, the people who are really Afrocentric actually don't look like they're Afrocentric like that.
I'm Afrocentric, and I don't walk around with like the.
but what I've noticed is a lot of times when I really think about where I get all these ideas from is what I see marketed to me. So I see women who have dreads marketed to me to be, you know,
exactly
Afrocentric. Then I see women who, and I'm not to attack you, but even your example about the weaves. It doesn't, because you, I'm not saying that you're saying that, but because you have a weave or because you're spending money on the weave doesn't mean anything about you. It has nothing to do with your personality.
No. I said my problem with it is when women are spending money on it and they're not taking care of the main priorities in their life, like their children. And you do have some of those
So where
women.
did you get that from? Is
because
that
it
that you
is a
saw?
fact. It is. I have seen it.
So out of a percentage of how many people, and this is not just you, everybody. When we say when they are, or this is what
I think
as
a
if it's-
fair good amount of percentage. I can't quote a number because
for
I haven't.
me
I haven't
personally,
specified the number.
a lot of what for me is what has been marketed to me on television.
As far as what?
As far as
Television, Facebook, social
but
media in
television
general.
is not showing women that are not taking care of their priorities, though.
Television
Television
is
is
just
just
something. That's all. That's
It's-
a steer.
no.
They
Television is
cater-
just marketing
they
their
cater to-
hair.
Oh,
You know
I
what
see
I'm
what you're saying. I see
They're
what you're saying.
catered to stereotypes.
Are we talking about women who wear weaves not handling priorities?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I'm not saying that's all
Okay, but
women.
here's what I'll say.
I said
right?
yeah, I'm not
women.
saying what you're saying is not valid. I'm just saying that the stereotypes and the views that we have are in place a lot of times, and they're perpetuated because of marketing.
Now let me ask you this question though: how much is a good weave?
I don't know.
A good weave is probably gonna put you in the
$1,000.
thousands.
To me,
Is
that's not
it
handling
really
priorities.
worth it?
I don't care if you make a lot of money, right?
Right.
To me, $1,000 of fake hair is not handling priorities.
Right.
Was actually
Because
real.
Real hair that is fake. To me, that is not handling
It's real
priorities.
hair that doesn't
No matter
belong
how
to you.
no matter how rich you are, because of the amount of
I got my
people
hair
doing
twisted.
it. So the economy that you're creating, if you have 1,000 and you have 1,000, right? The fact that none of you own any share of that
My problem
is not handling priorities to me
That's
on that
my
perspective.
issue.
So I'm gonna give you. I'm
That's
gonna
my
give you
issue.
a LA situation that I've overheard quite a few times. Right. I don't pay my rent. I don't pay my car note. I spend $1,500 on my weed. I go to Beverly Hills, and I get all that stuff paid.
Are you laying on your back?
I know somebody who might
No, I know quite a few females and males, but more females that do not spend. And what I'm saying is that I'll piggyback on it because we can't leave the guys out the weave conversation either. Okay?
It's actually
No,
embarrassing.
Come on now. So
Atlanta, what's poppin'?
I'm gonna give you a real situation. I don't pay my $800-900 rent. I don't pay my $300 car note. You know, I don't have a job. Let me add that piece to this puzzle. And I go out to Boquisha's Bump and Curl. Hello. Or I have Shaquana come to my house. Or
Don't leave African women out of this one.
Fatu come.
That's what put African women in there.
Okay.
Come
And
on,
she comes
Auntie
to-
Poncho.
But they pray more than they do.
But they sewing well, honey, really well too. 'Cause it's tight. Nevertheless, so Fatu comes over, and but anyway, she comes over, she tightens me up, I throw my dress on, and I hit it. I'm at the bar. You don't have to give nothing, but no. This is
That's always the case.
I'm gonna give you what that brain thing, that other side of your brain, that those people that are out here in the world that don't handle so-called priorities the way that we see them, and they go to the bar and they know exactly where to go. I'm gonna speak in LA because that's where we are. And they go to Beverly Hills and they sit, and that hair, everything is working, pow, pow, pow. They probably have $20 in their pocket, if that, right?
Beautiful.
I bet all that stuff is paid. And guess what? I'm going to turn around and do it again. So in their minds, guess what? This weave is paying me.
Yeah,
But let me-
Is it not true?
Yeah.
Okay, so the weave is paying it, but let's
Because I spend...
realistic wise though. How is are you even thinking future wise in the next few
I'm
years?
just giving you another way
I mean,
to
like,
look
what life
at
are you
it.
creating for yourself?
I'm giving you another way to look at it because how we work and we struggle
I have to make you
and we do.
Give me that, bro.
You leaving them hanging?
The Hendrix
I
one.
missed the joke.
That's
No,
okay.
so I'm just trying to open up what it is because there's a girl, there's a female out there that's like, well, they can say whatever they want. While you go to work and do your thing, I'm gonna sit at home, chill, drink my detox juice
And good for
to keep
you.
my stomach tight. I'm giving you like
Right.
a whole like what really happens, which is why hair is so powerful. And then certain cultures, white guys love black women with blonde hair. I've even did that because I said, let me just see if what I read was really gonna happen. And they love because you get the best of both worlds, and then you live life. I'm just saying it's very real.
Let me. I see exactly what you're saying, right? I get what you're saying. And it's good that she's bringing up this point though.
It is,
because
because
it is a reality
It's
that a lot of
sad
people live.
reality.
But
It don't matter.
what I want to ask is, I don't want to do the cliches of this person with this fake hair is this outcast,
No,
right?
that's not.
Because I want to ask this question,
Right.
right? How much of that is now black woman culture? Like, how much of that is now?
A good amount.
But how much? How? I'm talking about the beautiful side of it, though. How much of it is now that is a similarity between black women? Are we Afrocentrically gonna outcast them? Because that is something beautiful that they do with each other.
It depends on
Right?
the room.
That's a sisterhood.
It depends on the room because the reason why we're having this discussion is because everyone's like, oh, the weave, the hair. I can't hear what you're saying because the weave, the hair.
Oh, you just said it.
It's true. No, it's like you don't have. That's what divides us. It's
I'm
like
gonna be real with you. Afrocentric people, I can't stand a lot of them.
Well, I'm
I'm
just
gonna
gonna
be
say
real.
that.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
be real.
let me
I'm
ask
gonna
this.
be absolutely. I cannot stand a lot of them because.
Okay, hold on.
Let
I
me
want to
say- let me
ask
say
this
something.
question.
Yeah.
What is your definition of Afrocentric? Because I think there are some people that are really cuckoo that I don't agree with that take this whole
Let
Afrocentric
me
thing
just-
to a
let me
whole
explain
different
it.
level.
Let me explain it.
Because
simply.
I consider myself Afrocentric and
No,
I am
we're
far
black.
from.
Yeah.
I am black.
We are black.
And I am
No.
Afrocentric.
No, we're black.
Afrocentric, whatever you want to call it.
Let me
we are
explain.
black.
Let me explain Afrocentric to you
Okay.
because it's almost like this silent PhD
Yeah.
that some black people have that was appointed by songs by Erykah Badu
Yeah,
and like Low-Key Jill Scott, James Brown and it's like they were appointed this gift to appoint blackness. No, I get us standing up and supporting our hair and marketing. Look, we need to focus on our strength. But it becomes exactly what you fight against when your Afrocentricity points fingers and separates.
Real.
Right?
Real.
And I'm just going to be honest. And I'm not going to lie to you. I love my blacks. But when it comes to the Afrocentric side,
it's too
it
much.
is the most...
But what is your idea of Afrocentric?
Can I
I
ask
want
When
you
it-
guys to
let me
define
just finish it.
Right.
Let me just finish
I
what
want
I'm
a
saying.
definition of what
He's
you
going to give a
consider
definition.
Afrocentric.
But when it comes to the Afrocentric side, I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably one of the most classist group of group thinkers. Because I understand why it's important for them to speak up and teach us why the hair is important, why blackness is important.
I don't think it's just
but
the hair.
when you become the judge, it's corny.
You actually race like that.
Can I add something?
Yeah, I'm
So-
sure and I definitely I want to say something.
When we talk about Afrocentricity, right, there are people who I think are genuinely Afrocentric.
Exactly.
And there are people who it's almost like a trend or a fad. So, and it goes as deep as I'm literally going to change my entire thing as an individual. My hair, what I talk about.
Right.
Even if I'm on a date, the first thing I'm going to ask is, do Black Lives Matter? It's going to be like, it's going to be on some real life.
Everything.
It's this extra super, and then what ends up happening is exactly what he's saying. I was going to say the same thing is, now you're the judge and now that's not black. Well, Don Lemon is not this and this person is not this. And it ties into something we've talked about before as far as...
You just become a new black hater. Like you become a more affluent, more dangerous hater.
Exactly. So when we talk about, you talk about how it's become classes. So it goes back to the affluent black or the richer black and then the poor black. You're all black.
Period.
There's no difference between y'all.
Period.
Understand that America looks at you as a black
That's all.
person.
Period.
Beginning to end.
Yeah.
So my thing is when the Afrocentric person, in quotes, is like, oh well, she has a weave on and she doesn't love herself. And the thing about it is, what I find interesting is they're very, very sneaky and tricky about it because it's not overt, it's covert. So it's like.
Say that again.
It's not overt, it's covert. So my hair, oh well, she has beautiful natural in capital letters hair. So what does that mean? So, and because everybody knows what that is now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So don't say it like as if, well, my hair is, well, this is all mine.
Yeah. And,
okay, congratulations. What does that mean?
You preach to me about to get again. I'm gonna emphasize
because it makes it look like you're better or you're more black or you're less.
I am not for that idea. That is not my point.
It may not be your
That's not
intention,
my take.
but that's what comes off as sometimes.
Some people might come off that way, and you do have the people that go really deep into the whole Afrocentricness, and that's just a whole different ballgame in terms of even what they eat and how they dress. I can't with that. But my whole thing about this whole natural versus hair thing is, at the end of the day, it's not about natural is better than weave. It's all about preference. We all have choices. As women, we can do whatever we want to do to our hair. But there are some women that wear weaves that have a problem of actually letting their own natural hair out. To me, that's a deeper issue. And that
that's where the problem. That's where the problem is. Us as black women, we don't like that. Like you're not embracing who you are.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a problem to display your own natural hair. It should never be a problem. You shouldn't be so quick to want to put so much fake hair on yourself and pretend as if that's what you are. That at the end of the day, we all know it's fake. So we know what's underneath of it. So if you don't like what's underneath of it, it's never gonna change. Now wear it because you want to wear it. Wear it because you want change. Wear it because you want some kind of different look. But don't wear it because you hate your own natural hair and feel like natural hair is not something that it's beautiful enough to display.
True.
To me, that's a problem. There are people that think that way. And I have people ask me like the dumbest questions about my hair, like, oh, I can't do locks. Like, you can only do but so much with it. I love my weaves. Okay, like your weaves, I'm fine with my locks. Like, I have no problem with it.
And this is the thing.
So it's like
this is what I want to ask. Like, has it? I mentioned the psyche thing, right? So there is a deeper, and it is not just the hair. It is my accent on this show. It is the suit and tie, right? Because I could wear a hoodie and talk like this, you know what I mean? And it's received differently. So it's not just the hair that is the deep issue, right? But has wearing a weave just become like a dude wearing a baseball cap? Like, or a wig, Has it, are we always going to make it a deep issue?
Can I ask something? I've worn a wig before, but
what the heck?
Why did you wait to say that? You should have opened with that one.
Wait, you wore that? Wait, what?
A dread wig before.
Oh, dread. I didn't do it. He really did wear dread wigs.
Yeah, he showed me that.
So I mean, it was fun. I mean, I wore a dread wig. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I hate myself. It doesn't mean anything.
But you were approached what? Differently.
I was approached differently. They thought.
And you were in the bay too.
You know what's funny? Actually, I do have a good story about this. So, I was driving Uber at the time, and it was Halloween, and I was wearing it's a pretty expensive actually at the time, very expensive wig.
You really bought it?
Yes, it was for me at that time.
Can you at least explain why you bought it for acting?
That's my
okay. So I bought a dread wig for acting. So for another character, one of my Bay Area characters or Southern characters. So long story short, I'm wearing it, and they get in the car. It's three young black dudes, and they get in the car. They're like hell excited, and I'm shaking my dreads and everything, and they just love my energy. We're having a good time, and then they're like, yeah, we got a party, man. You got to just take off for the rest of the night. You can just roll with us. So I was like, okay, I'll roll, no problem. So I roll, and I get into the house party. I told the guy in the passenger seat, I was like, dude, this is not my real hair. I wonder, like, yo, I got a Caesar under this. Don't think this is my real hair. So he knew that already, so he was cool, like, oh, that's funny, okay, cool. But I guess the music was so loud, the people in the back seat didn't hear until we got to the... so I took it off, took the wig off at the kickback. And then the other three dudes, one dude, he was already drunk, he had his cup in his hand, looking at me like this, like...
I'm so mad you actually have that story to tell. I'm pissed off.
So he was disappointed. He was like, wow, like, you cool still, but yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm disappointed that you ain't got the dreads.
See,
but okay, that is. But the truth is, though, I do.
Imagine that for a woman.
That's why I want to ask this question, because I don't have too much to say about weave or natural hair. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I just met
me too.
Set the scenario. If I see a chick with Afrocentric hair, my mind or natural hair, my mind automatically goes somewhere At least here in America, because in Nigeria, chicks is shaving their hair off and they're wearing weaves. They do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But here, if I see a black chick with a short haircut or, you know, dreads, it says something.
Right.
Or if I see a chick with an afro, I'm just being honest, it says something based on America. If I see a chick with a weave, the sad thing is, it doesn't really say, it doesn't say anything negative or positive. It's now normal.
It's actually kind of neutral.
I was gonna say it's like
it's almost
like a baseball cap.
Yeah, like a baseball cap. But here's the thing. Is that a problem? Is that a problem when
it's just
when a lie becomes your truth?
What is it? What are you lying
When
about?
that is not your so if I meet you, right, and I take you home, or
you gotta take that thing.
Like
that's not.
I've been in that situation.
You don't have to.
And I honestly,
It's going to come off at some point.
because I'm a nice guy and I'm not tripping. No, I'm being real, like, cause I'm not like some dudes like what the hell, like they may do the Chris Tucker on you. But she took off the weave.
The wig.
Oh, the wig actually. So she took off the wig and it was just like a cap. To it. And she had the cockle bugs under the cap. I was just like.
So how did that change for you seeing
Good
her?
question.
So when that happened, I was just like, it threw me off.
Kind of changed the moment. Come on, let's
But
keep
she slipped though. She did it right before she shut off the lights. So
Is this too much?
I don't know, but no,
but that's a real question though. Is it a problem if
some guys have a problem with that?
Yes, they do.
This is the thing. For me, and it could be an aesthetic thing for me. If it alters you too much, then I have a problem with it.
As far as the way you look?
Let me be honest.
Please.
The length and the
She
thickness of it.
she had a cute face
with the weave on?
with the weave on. She had a nice, decent sized breast. Her booty was huge. But when she took off the wig,
Deflated?
a little bit, just a little bit. But it wasn't too bad though. Because it didn't, she still was cute. It was just like, I was like, is this a shock? Is this initial shock of that? Oh, okay, got it.
From Michelle to Barack.
Yeah.
Well,
So it depends on it, because some women are able to pull it off with the skull cap.
but I think it's
And some women, when they pull off the skull cap, I'm like,
but she wasn't classy because a classy
I
woman
don't
would
think
never
you can
do
get
that.
too classy with that.
No,
You got-
absolutely. Because no. I have several friends that I have a girlfriend I've known 7-8 years.
Can I ask you a
Wait a
question?
minute, I've never seen her real hair, and we've been to Miami. We've been to all different parts of the world.
She sleeps in it.
Yes.
It's a cap.
No. She wears her
she have sex in
lace
it?
front.
Sure.
Yes.
Is it a cap?
She spends. No, first of all, she makes a lot of money, so she can afford whatever she wants to afford.
Okay.
But I'm her homegirl. You know, we homegirl. We going to the beach here to help. You know, here's my bathing suit, sand in your hair.
You kind of see everything.
And I'm like, I've never seen your hair. She said, and you never will. You know,
but hers is not a cap.
That's what I mean. There's a classiness in that, as far as what he said. Like, I'm gonna separate the ratchets and the classics, classics, because if you know he met you 22 inches, and then you go to his wherever y'all gonna go, for you to take that all like.
her hair was
but here's
You don't do that.
Let me ask the real question though. Is it a problem when that becomes your identity when it's not your identity?
It is a
What
problem.
identity as far as what, like who you are as a person?
No.
who you look
That's
like.
not you.
Like that's your looks.
That is not like.
What do you mean it's not
Okay,
you?
so if you have a standardized weave style that you wear, like I wear Caesar, right?
Okay.
If she has a standard of every time I see her, this is what I see,
Okay.
right? Is that an issue?
There's some women that just
Because your locks change too.
Well,
But it's locked, it's real. So
I can pin it up, I can curl
I say
it.
something?
No, I think what he's
understand.
saying
No,
is
for real. If you have a standard,
How does it change?
is it a problem if it's almost like, okay, when a lady wears high heels, right? When she wears heels, she's 5'11". When she takes it off, she's 5'5", right?
But you know that she's
No, hold
the
up.
height that she is with the heels.
If those heels were installed in you and you walk with those every day, I now believe you are 5'11", right?
Right.
Is that a problem?
That you believe that.
Because your identity is no longer, it's not your real identity, but it's your identity now. Is that a problem? Because if I marry you, right?
Is hair like makeup?
Thank you.
I don't think so. Because makeup actually changes. People can look like different people. Like completely.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, but
I think that's the problem.
But if you having your head bald in a Caesar, you still are the same.
It's still my hair, though.
But I think
I'm just saying the look of you.
I'm not talking about the look.
So because it's not mine, it changes my identity because
it's not. I'm not saying identity.
Is it bad that you can't go to Whole Foods without eyeliner, or you can't go straight?
Well, that's bad. That's bad.
But isn't
you
that
can't go
how
to
you look
Whole
naturally?
Foods.
You look naturally. You look a certain way naturally without eyeliner, right? Right. But if you need to wear, like for you yourself, you feel like you need to wear eyeliner and eyeshadow.
Okay.
Right.
That's
Isn't it?
okay.
That's so. What we're trying to say is, it's something that you're adding on. There's women who don't wear makeup at all.
Yeah.
And I don't get on women who don't or do wear makeup, but it's something to acknowledge that the fact that there's women that are never ever in their life, any lifetime ever stepping outside the house without makeup on.
But let's keep it on the hair thing because that's what I'm asking.
He's comparing the hair and
the makeup, yeah. But you get what I'm saying?
You ask the question.
You come as a base, and then no matter what you, it's almost like I must wear this to be me.
Isn't that a problem? Because here's a question, right?
Well, that's for some people.
You said bald and Caesar. That's my hair. So it is actually my identity, no matter what it is. If you're adding on a wig,
that changes you.
That is. If all I know you as, okay, let's say this. I'm your kid. Let's say you give birth to me, right? I'm your son, right? And because this is fact, there are some kids that have never seen their mom's actual hair. It's fact though. It's fact. Right? So if I'm your, so exactly. So all I've ever known was this is mom.
Okay.
And I believe this is mom.
Yeah.
Right. Is it a problem that is a consistent? I think it's a problem.
It is.
If that becomes, if your unidentity becomes your actual identity.
I guess I don't look at it as unidentity because it's your hair.
But some women can.
But it's not your hair.
That hair.
Can you take it off confidently?
Some women get to.
I think that's where we need to live. Like there's sort of like the makeup thing. Like, can you walk out the house without wearing? I'm talking full face because most, you gotta lather your lips up, whatever, right? But makeup. No. Like I can't leave the house without.
Is it a problem when that's hair?
I don't think that hair does what makeup does.
No, there's some women, Maya, that would not.
There's some women, there's some women that I don't think that hair changes who you are as a person. Like,
yeah, that's my
I don't think that. That's why I said that. I don't, because it doesn't change. Like if I wear my cornrows, I think that's what I choose to wear. Like, it doesn't change me. It actually changes the people around me.
You're missing the point. You're saying when my cornrows is yours. So you can do whatever you want with your hair or with your weave. All I'm asking is if that becomes you. If you're always wearing 6-inch heels, if 6-inch heels were installed in you and you are 5'11", and everyone says you're 5'11", right? But you're actually 5'5".
But that's altering, like, yourself.
Which is, if your weave is standard, like that's.
So how is it altering your? You're talking about. Well, I think the analogy is throwing me because of the height thing, and that's something that's distinctly different.
Okay, the lady who said she was black and was not black, right? And everybody believed she was black until she became white, right? Is that a problem?
Yeah, because she's not white.
That's not your hair. It's my point. That's my point. Is you? Everyone believes this is you, and you.
Believes it's you.
Hold up, Pasadena black ladies. I love y'all, right? But I'm gonna be real. When you talk about Sadiddy black women in Los Angeles, California, Pasadena, ma. And the thing is, this is where it gets confusing. When you act like your hair.
Woo! Yeah. Well, see, that's me.
You know what I'm saying?
Now we're going somewhere.
When it's you, Cindy, Samantha, and you act as if
you are Cindy.
Now let me get this. Let me just say this, right? I have nothing against it, but that's where I want to know, is that a psyche thing? Because you sit down and you act as if this dude is not welcome because this is us. And I'm like, no, but
that is what is different.
Is hair a necklace? Is hair a watch? Is something you put on? Is it an accessory, basically?
Yeah.
In that scenario that I just gave, where she's acting like her hair, where it's literally Samantha, you know,
Becky.
white girls, and it's her. Again, nothing against this, right? But a black dude approaches, or somebody who's you approaches, and you automatically are not him because
You're you.
yeah. And that is part of you in your mind. And I'm being real.
Well, that's that's why she said it's like by person. Like for me, it doesn't change my identity.
In Los Angeles, in that specific area of Los Angeles,
it doesn't change like who I am. Like I don't change because I decided to wear a 22-inch wig today. The way people approach me is what changes. So that's the difference between Samantha, Becky, and
How
Cindy.
about, okay, here's another curveball. And we probably have to have part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because we need more ladies. on this
Yeah, I
panel,
agree.
Right? How about relaxer?
Okay.
How about relaxer?
Because that's chemical. That's changing.
And I'm not even just talking about the changing aspect of it. The health part of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Because I've noticed, and I'm just gonna be real, in Los Angeles, I always ask, how come, you know, the gangsters, the male gangsters have better hair? Like they got the Nipsey Hussle.
Pimps. And
They got hair.
yeah, they have hair in LA.
They
And
got
that's
problems.
very confusing.
They don't use chemicals, right?
They don't.
Well, it depends.
Natural.
Like a lot of the gangsters, they're mixed. Their parents, so they're able to, like, they're Polynesian, they're black, white, whatever, Spanish. So they, they do. They which is why they like women that look the same way. Like they kind of get to that. They're very hair confused here, like by what you look like.
I do want, and I want you to comment on this too. Statistic wise, if you guys have done it, women, when you have natural hair and when you have, you know, weave or wig, number one, do you feel more confident in either one of them? And how do you get approached? Who approaches you? And I just want to know I actually want to know how it works.
Well, I mean, me personally, it was never about my hair in terms of how I got approached. I think I strongly believe confidence plays a lot in the way people kind of approach you. You know, whether I have braids or whether my hair was permed or whether I had, you know, a sewing weeds. I can't even know the damn difference between the two. But the only difference is in terms of the wording that they use. You know, now a lot of my black guys would approach me like, hey sister, hey my queen, I love your beautiful hair. So it's a different approach.
How many of them are putting rings on natural hair compared to weave?
Well, honey,
Real question.
Now that's the question.
I'm asking a real question.
How many of them are putting rings on women, period?
That's a good question.
It has nothing to do with natural hair or weave.
That's the question.
I disagree.
That's the
I
question.
don't think
I do.
So are we saying right now that there's more natural single women than women that wear weave?
Hold up.
His
Don't
question.
hold up.
Because I am taken.
Hold up.
I mean,
Don't attack me because I'm not giving my perspective.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
literally
True.
asking though because
True.
again it goes back to that poet dude.
It's
Hello,
not
Mike.
just about
Hold
the
up.
poet
Let me
dude,
say
though.
something. Let me say something because I really mean this. I love the hello, my queen. That's great. That's very. It's very inspiring.
but that's not a poet.
Hold up.
This is a black
Hold
man
up.
in a suit.
I'm talking about black men. Period.
Right. So
When I mention poet, I'm just mentioning the kind of people who are marketing Afrocentricity, right? Hello, my black sister. Hello, my black queen is very beautiful. Fact, though, how many of you are making decisions that work in the favor of this black queen you're talking about? Let's be real.
Let me
Because
say this.
they don't.
I don't think the terminology of using black queen or black sister has only been used to a sister that has natural hair. We can't just say
Majority.
that.
The majority
It is used most of the time because of your presentation and what you have. And most of these guys feel like they have to say that. If you had a wig on, they probably approach you differently.
They do.
probably feel
I think you're
that.
missing what I'm saying.
Well,
I think you're
How
missing
many
what
of
I'm
them are
saying.
making the final decision to put a ring
Exactly.
on that African queen, black woman, sister?
Let me
it has nothing to do with a natural hair whether the man puts a ring on your finger. We can sit here and debate that.
But it does.
You're missing the point again.
No,
You're
it
missing the
doesn't.
point.
As far as his question,
She's missing the point.
his question is, at the end of the day, when all that is out the window, after, you know, he's with you, let's say he has a laundry list of females, right? The final decision will not be her.
A laundry list of females.
Wait a minute, who's he taking to?
She's gonna take another direction.
No,
right now.
let me get this.
Wait a minute, who is he taking around to meet people? Who is he going to make that final decision with majority of the time?
I'm trying to understand you guys' point. So you guys are pretty much telling me that he's not taking the natural chick around to...
No one is saying he's not.
No, I'm trying to understand the question. Right. So the percentage of women with natural hair, we speak in natural versus weave. So we have to be clearly defined here.
Yeah.
So we're saying that the guy that's approaching a woman and saying black queen, black sister, all this, majority of them are not putting rings on that women's finger. Right. But the reality is, a lot of black men are not putting rings on women's fingers.
You're missing the point.
I get your point. I get the point. I get the hypocritical part of this guy's presentation.
And the question, hold on,
let me say this though. No, let me say this. It's not every black man that comes up to you and says sister queen that's actually presenting this Afrocentricness either. They're just saying that because of how you look.
Ma, you're missing my point.
So
you're missing. Here's my question. Here's my question. The reason why I asked that question is because do you think that's why a lot of sisters go the other way because more guys are actually going that way? Is my question. Because again, it's an important question and I need to finish this.
Okay.
Because again, all the time I see the encouragement of, and it could be us learning again, right? Us decolonizing ourselves.
Right.
It could be us learning again. But I want ladies here to answer that question. Hold up. How many of you who are natural, you're getting respect, cool. Are you getting loved by as many black men that act as if your natural hair will bring them towards what they claim it would?
This is what
I'm just being real.
It's true.
This is what I am going to say, and I always say this. People need to stop doing things for people. If you're going to go natural for yourself. Go natural because it's something that you want to do. Don't go natural trying to be the Black Power Poetic group. Yeah, it's great for you to represent that. It's great for you to show the beauty of your hair. But that shouldn't be the defined reason as to why you're doing it. Now, at the end of the day, whether a black man chooses to be with a woman, I don't think the hair is the defined reason
I think it plays a role.
It plays a role, but no man ended up with me because of my hair. Well, it has nothing to do with my hair.
I think the part that you're missing is
the black men are going with white women. So
I'll tell you this: more white women date girls.
There's a
lot.
There's a thing.
Fact though.
Me personally, let me just use myself as a perfect example. When I see somebody who has dreads, and I also think it depends, first of all, to go back to the very beginning, it's when I look at the theme of what you're doing, does it match you? Mm-hmm. Does it match whatever your look is, your head shape, your face? I'm being honest because some women, and the reason I'm saying this, I'm going to go back to what you were talking about right now, but when I look at someone like Jennifer Hudson, when she did the shortcut, I was like, look, to me it doesn't match you.
It does not.
But when that jaw, maybe that jawline, I don't know what it is, but then when she switched her hair, that's fine. But when she switched it to something else, exactly. When they switched it to something else, I was like, oh, that matches you. Now, if I'm a black woman and it's being marketed that, and this is just me personally, and I'm going to use myself as an example as well, that this type of woman is the Afrocentric, all I do is talk about this and eat kale and I'm vegan and all this other stuff. And
that's not what I do.
But don't take it personally.
I'm not taking it personally, but I'm just giving you an example that not every black woman that does natural hair thinks that way.
A lot of us think, depending on how you present yourself, we're gonna assume that you're on that Erykah Badu burning sage and incense. That's what we think you're doing.
Let me jump out the window.
Stereotype. It sounds bad.
Poppy. Hold on. Let me jump out the window. And I'm gonna take off the bulletproof vest and go there.
Come on.
Right?
Okay.
85% of the time, your dreads and your hair matches your personality, especially when it comes to natural. Majority of the time. Now, let me say this, right? It is a consciousness a lot.
Yeah. It has to be.
These days. Yeah. It is a consciousness.
It's a statement.
Exactly. Let's not front as if I meet a girl, hold up.
Okay.
If I meet a girl with dreads, right? If I meet a girl with dreads, it is a statement, and there is a certain personality attached to that, which is important. I'm not criticizing it. All I ask, though, right, is it goes back to this division thing where, and don't get it twisted, a girl had to stop me and say, you know what, I just wear weaves to protect my hair from the sun. Because when I take my weave off, it's as natural as it comes. I just wear this to protect my hair from the sun. And I sat back and I was like, you know what? Don't ever even speak of hair because it shouldn't even concern you anyway, right? But for real, don't even speak of it because she shut me up real quick and I was like, okay, cool. Because I was trying to be on that, your hair is your insecurity and blah, 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 because I'm perfect about, no, cut it, right? And it is, when you dismiss and you put someone down for something that you feel they should change, why should they come to your side?
Right.
Why should they come to your side? And the reason why I asked that specifically is because I mentioned something about the brothers, my black queen, my Philly dudes. I love y'all. Hold up. It's not a small percentage. It's not a small percentage.
I would like to interject.
It's not a small percentage.
Because
it's not.
Most of the guys
it's
that
not a small percentage.
Like, this is what I'm going to say.
Let me say, let me talk about locks and hair and this whole thing we're talking about, because you do understand that there is such a thing as fake locks. And I'm not speaking on the faux ones. I'm gonna tell you the difference when I was natural and the whole process of it. So there's a process. There's an ugly stage, which is a real stage. You go out to the world and you're not so pretty. Regardless.
Stop saying yourself.
But I'm giving an example. You can't make that statement and say not so pretty. Don't think that way.
It is a real stage. It's a real stage. You can look
ugly with weave too. So
what I'm saying is that the process of the whole thing, which is where the consciousness comes from. Please, okay? So I started my locks when it was not everybody doing it, and all of a sudden it became the big F word, fad. So when things become a fad, consciousness separates and it becomes what? A fad. So you have women who have hair that look just like yours, exactly, that's been stitched on. I have friends, my locks were down to here. I cut them off, gave them to my friend. He made a wig and the girl had it on. Literally, it was mine. I kept a few for myself, and she wore it. That's what I'm talking about. So here we go. So as you talk about women with locks, it's how you wear it. It's why you wear it, and it's how long you've worn it. Because when I started, and I noticed how people approached me with the sisters and the dad, and I had a lot of different cultures approaching me, and so exotic and this and that, and brothers approached me differently. And as they grew a little longer, it became a little different. I became a little more connected, and then I started to see when I dyed them, my whole Howard University community flipped out that I dyed my locks, because how can you turn natural into chemical? Because it's a whole nother thing. So I'm saying when it becomes, it's the way that you wear your hair. Because you have some people who are Rastafarian, that's where the true dreadlock comes from, okay? And it is no twisting, it is no styling, it's just flat out. And that's my energy. And actually, when you go outside, you're supposed to cover your mane because the energies of the world hits your hair. So we got fad, and then we got the real deal. So in actual reality, everybody not everybody, but a large percentage, the marketing and all the stuff that we see on television is the fad of it. So those real conscious people, the fad of locks and what it looks like. So which is why those who are truly conscious, who may have weaves, look at you and say, well, you know different than me because you don't even understand what you're wearing.
And here's the thing.
Okay, so let me say this, and this is not a division thing, and it is. But I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it that way. Are there women out there that are completely against weave? And yes, and they have the right to feel that way. Are there women that are against natural hair? Absolutely. You have the right to feel whatever way you want to feel, and whatever you put on your hair is your business at the end of the day. It's a choice. We all have a choice to do whatever we want to do. I didn't lock my hair for any whole Afrocentricness or anything. I just want to change. I wanted to try something.
I like it.
People, my girlfriend was like, just try something new. I think it'll go with the shape of your, and that was it. I was actually kind of hesitant towards it a little bit. And I tried it and I liked it. It wasn't anything about, to draw attention to any poetic guys or any my sister, my queen, all of that. And sometimes when they do approach me with all that, it's, hey, yeah, I mean, cool, but are there extremities to it that I can't even run with it? Absolutely, because I am not that way. At the end of the day, I'm not that way, so I can't even relate to your whole ideology of what my hair represent. I did my hair this way because I want to change.
But that's not the majority. Most people ain't there.
And some
I think it's also African to an African American perspective.
I think some women just choose to go natural because they don't just care for the weaves. And there are women
they broke their hair out.
Yeah, they've had bad experiences with the chemicals. It's not always the case that a woman that has natural hair is all about that. You know, I'm against the weave. I don't care for it. I don't feel it has anything to do with identity. You know, all of that. It's not always the case. And I don't think the aspect of how many of this men, I get your point. I get your point. We can say there is a good percentage of guys that are not putting rings on the so-called natural women's hand. But if we really go deeper than that, there's a lot of black men that are not putting rings,
but
whether you have 18 inches or natural hair.
The focus is,
so,
can I just say something? Before I even, when I'm meeting women or if I'm dating or whatever, it sounds messed up, but if I meet a girl that has hair like yours, especially depending on how she wears it.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna come at her a certain way. I'd be foolish too. I'm not gonna be like, it sounds bad and it sounds very.
It's true though.
I'm not gonna
Perception is reality.
I'm gonna talk about different things. I'm gonna expand my conversation.
That's how men, they don't.
So guys need to educate themselves. It's so sad.
But let me say this though. Can I just add this though? I've tried to be the guy that's like, oh no, we're all the same. And I try to talk about, you know what I'm saying, this and that. And she was like, well, dude, Black Lives Matter. And I was like, yeah.
Now, let me say something. You can't say, you know, guys need to educate themselves because if a guy walks in here with sagging pants, perception is reality. You're going to think something. You're going to think he's...
But I'm not going to change my approach.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but the whole thing about a dude approaching a girl with locks a specific way is the same way you would approach somebody who's wearing a suit.
Just appreciating the naturalness.
That's men.
No. All I'm saying is let's not try to act as if image does not.
Well, something does pop in your brain, but it doesn't mean that you change what you say. That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm gonna check myself. I know that. I'm gonna check myself. It's natural. I'm gonna check myself.
I think it depends on how you wear it because I met some guys that have locks, and I know that they're nowhere connected to consciousness. Then you know,
it's not everything. You know
what I mean? So it's like,
we're gonna have a part 2 of this.
Yeah.
Please,
right?
we do.
And I didn't mean to attack my poetic brothers, but I meant to attack y'all because I'd be corny sometimes, straight up. Especially with this social media stuff, y'all getting out of control. A brother wears a Caesar and a goatee, and you start telling me this is when it got. I was just like, okay, dude. But this dude approached me, right, and he was like, you know, my brother, you know, you should wear your locks. And I was like, okay. He's like, where you from? I was like, Nigeria. He's like, you know, y'all connected out there. I was like, Chief, actually in Nigeria, it's actually it's taboo.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so don't put me with that nonsense. But either way, right? This is what I'm gonna say.
That's his ignorance.
Natural and weave, right? It is important for us to know ourselves naturally, right? It is extremely important for us to know ourselves naturally because I think it is a deep-rooted issue. And again, I mentioned it's not just the hair. It is my accent. It is me wearing a suit. It is me wearing a Caesar, right? I can't wear dreads and go into a bank and act as if that does not do something. It does. But the perception of the outside should not become how I present myself, but I'm not going to deny that the outside has eyes and sees things a certain way. Another thing, natural is beautiful, right? Natural, there's a lot of strength in the people who, there's a lot of strength in affluence and educatedness in people who, at least the people I know, who are very Afrocentric. There's a lot of connection to your roots. It's beautiful.
Right.
When you bash your sister who wears a weave, you are no better than the people who brought you here to this country. I'm going to be real.
That's real.
Because it is a sisterhood. You don't agree with it, but they are still welcome.
Right.
If you don't see what I'm saying as important, then maybe you need to educate yourself. Because I see it all the time. There's a classist division with sisters who wear weaves, right? But the main thing is, for my sisters who wear weaves, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. It is what it is. It is an economy, as she mentioned. I mean, I don't mind y'all getting some paper. I think these days it could be you just wearing a baseball cap and you just, you know, connecting it or protecting your hair. The one I personally don't like is when it becomes the wall between you and other black people. Yeah. That I've seen. Where, you know, you hit me with a little Oprah Winfrey a little bit and I'm like, yo mama, God bless Oprah Winfrey, but you know, there's a certain class of black people that can come to me because my hair cut that out. Yeah. But all in all though, we need to have a part 2 with more people because hair is a big deal. Yeah. Because hair is an identifier, especially in the black community. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. I wish I could say more, but I'm going to just leave it at that. But you classes, folks, I'm watching y'all.
I mean, my take on this is, to me, I don't look at it as a division thing, even though it does exist. I believe maybe if more natural hair is promoted, then maybe corporate America will be more accepting of it, but that's a different story. We have a bunch of black women who are advertising that the weave is the look and going with this white presentation of what beauty is, then hey, kudos to you. But at the end of the day, as much as you're spending that money on that hair, I hope you're spending it with someone else that's black. I hope you're kind of promoting some kind of financial growth within your community. And don't think that that's actually your identity. At the end of the day, it is fake. We can say, yeah, I paid for it and it's mine. It is yours, but it's not your identity. It's not who you are. At the end of the day, whatever is underneath is natural, and that shouldn't be a problem to display either. To me, it becomes a problem when you feel that that is not good enough to show. That's not good enough to walk into a room with. That's not good enough to go anywhere where you have to throw a wig cap on or have some kind of long extensions going down to your behind for you to be able to walk into any kind of environment. We are very diverse in the way we're created. We have the power to do a lot with our hair, and I am all for that. And I hope that as you create change with your hair, that you just focus on, I'm all about creating change within our economic growth. Because at the end of the day, if you're spending that money and it's going into someone else's pocket, to me, I'm really not valuing the money that you're spending, you know, because it's not helping your own. Let it be about helping your own. Create your own products. And I guess that's it.
Okay.
Part 2.
Same for part 2.
Yeah.
So, you don't talk
but, no, just so I do love my locks. And I am not eccentric. I love the breeze blowing it through my
So I'm going to say, I'm going to quote a song. I'm not my hair. I'm not my skin. I am not your expectation of, okay, please, of me, okay? So, that's India.Arie, by the way, who was locked. She cut all her hair off, bald head. And I think she's back to kind of like an afro now. Point is I'm not my hair, okay? And I'm not my skin. Now, because of America, because of marketing, because of, you know, strategize, colonize, all of that mind frame, this is why we have this panel and conversation. Just because I may go out with, well, I don't go outside with a scarf on my head because I wasn't raised that way. You don't go outside with a scarf on your head. But that's just, you know, at the same time, I was taught to go out presentable. And if presentable to me is, because I may wrap my hair up, you know, I may wear my, you know, my cloths or whatever. It's an expression. Right? So that doesn't mean that that's who I am. That's me expressing myself. I vibrate in a high frequency. So you're going to see that in my expression. You know, if it's braids, because I wear braids often when it gets hot, that's me showing you, yes, I'm a black woman and yes, I can do this. You may not be able to do this, so you are inferior. You feel some kind of way. So therefore you got to separate my people and make us feel like, oh, well, you're doing this, no, you're doing that. But as I said, I'm not my hair, I'm not my skin, okay? So if that's what it is, then that doesn't change who I am for myself, Maya Siobhan. Now my other sisters, younger sisters, because of social media and because of the television and because of what we see and what they want us to get into our system, they get it they have a misconception of what it really is. It's really options and expressions because your foreparents weren't able to express themselves that way. They had to get an iron, I can't think of it right now, but a curling iron. They had to, you know, hang their head over the stove and get their hair pressed out, you know, to go out and be presentable. It's all about options. So I don't think that it changes who you are. It should not change who you are. We have to get back to what it really is. And that's, you know, I'll save the rest of part two.
Right?
Just hair. Just hair.
I think a lot of people, I think for me, it's easy for me to say that you should do whatever you feel. I think my only concern is, as far as the identity goes, is if you're not aware that there's an addition, that this is like, if you're saying that if I put this on me, this is needed to be me. Mm-hmm. When I know that I'm just adding this on because this is what I like and this is how I want to present myself, but I already know who I am, that's different. So I think that there's like two sides to that. And the truth is, I wish that hair wasn't as important as it is, but it is. Mm-hmm. To this day, if you try to get a job, you try to do whatever you're trying to do. I mean, we already said before you even see you, before they look at your name, they say Jamal. They may already switch your application. They may just do an interview just for interviewing, because they do that too, because we must interview you because you're black. But when you do reach that interview, it's like, okay, it's a reality. I have friends of mine that's like, I got to take this hair out because I got an interview coming up. And it's real. It's a real life thing. And I think that black people need to love each other and not try to judge one another about whatever they're doing with their hair. It's what you do with your hair. Don't try to judge each other. You're not even in a position to judge each other to begin with. But that's like a whole other discussion. You're not.
Right.
So I think it's all about another level of consciousness and being aware. You know, just knowing the circles and knowing the where you are. It's the reality. You're in America. There are gates that you're not going to be able to get into because of how you look and how things are marketed. The funny thing I'm finding is that as time is going on now, you're starting to see people who are kind of appropriating it, and now they've been doing that, but now it's like they're like renaming the cornrows styles and doing different things, and it's a new thing.
Because they want to be acceptable. They want to make it
exactly.
It's non-threatening.
Exactly.
Anything that's non-threatening is possible.
Exactly. So you start to see that change,
which is why black hair is very important.
It is. It is.
Which is because it is as much as we want to sugarcoat it.
Come on.
It is the threatening or non-threatening thing.
Yeah.
Because and again, the outside perspective should not matter, does not matter, but it does matter.
It means a lot.
It means eating or not eating in certain cases. It means
how you
Chicago dreads, 300, you know,
in Japan,
Chief Keef
in Japan,
and you know, living to see the next day. You know, so it is a really big topic. We must bring it back.
Yeah.
One thing that I do want to mention, though, maybe we should have these topics later. I could be wrong, but I think I see more white boys appreciating more natural hair than black dudes do. I could be wrong, but I think I see that.
It's fake.
No. I said white boys.
They're like, what?
White boys appreciating more natural sisters.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Another one is we have to have more people here on the panel, and there's. I'm sorry, Atlanta. I don't mean to diss y'all, but I saw this in Atlanta.
Oh my God!
Fake
front lace.
My friend does them.
Front lace.
My friend does them.
Fam, I don't know what's popping up, but we're gonna have that discussion. So many more discussions that we're gonna have, but cheers to this one. I wish I could say more, but we'll have a part two.
Cheers to the natural hair.